The UFC 288 co-main event is in the books between Gilbert Burns and Belal Muhammad in the welterweight division, and it is, remember the name, Belal Muhammad, getting a dominant 5-round decision over Gilbert Burns in the UFC 288 co-main event. This was an absolute clinic put on by Belal. Really good striking, good shots to the body as well. Just looked great in this one and really wasn't in any danger in this fight. Burns landed a few shots here and there, but nothing that was, you got worried about with Belal Muhammad in the matchup here. Just an absolute clinic and very impressive by Belal, coming off Ramadan, coming and taking this fight on short notice. There was some talk about this fight maybe being at 185. Gilbert Burns is like, no, it has to be at 170. So Belal Muhammad cutting all that weight and going 5 rounds and looking pretty fresh even in that 5th round. Extremely impressive, and he's absolutely earned his shot at a title. It was talked about post-fight. Well, like, what's going to happen, though? I mean, Leon Edwards doesn't want to fight Colby Covington. It doesn't seem like the UFC says it's going to be Colby and Leon Edwards next. Either way, Belal Muhammad's next fight is going to be for the title, whether it's the winner of that potential fight or it's him and Leon, or it's him and Cole. I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a title fight regardless, and it's well-deserved. You know what? I have someone, I'll fully admit I'm someone that has not picked Belal Muhammad fights very well over the last couple fights, and I really did think Ramadan was going to affect him in this fight, and it didn't. That's the most impressive thing. Now, look, we do have to point out one little small thing. I shouldn't say small. It did play a big impact on the fight. Gilbert Burns going for, I think, a takedown early in the fight and hurting his shoulder. He wasn't using his left arm at all in the fight, pretty much. It was completely compromised. So Burns was basically fighting with one hand during the entire fight. But I think either way, Belal had a pretty flawless performance outside of that. And, I think, had Burns been healthy, it was still going to be a razor close fight. And that's kind of what I figured going in, honestly. Like, I'm very aware of the improvements that Belal Muhammad has made. Finishing Sean Brady in his last fight, the wins over Luque and Thompson, Damian Maia, the no contest against Leon Edwards. I know it was a weird fight, but Belal has really turned a page and has looked very, very different than the guy who lost to Jeff Neal back in 2019. We're seeing those improvements fight to fight. And honestly, it's well-deserved him getting this win, injury or not. The fact that he put on the type of performance he did really sort of, cements the fact that he is a title challenger at this point. And it's going to be very interesting to see how he does against Leon Edwards or Colby Covington, because I honestly don't know. Like, I really think those fights are going to be interesting on both ends. I personally think if Belal was fighting Colby right now, I would pick him. I think with Leon, it's difficult because Leon's got that really good power. And again, we'd have to see, a healthy Leon. We'll see sort of what happens there, but very interesting times ahead in the welterweight division. I know fans were booing. I'm sure people would have liked to finish. I could see some critics saying Belal should have finished him, but I don't know. Gilbert Burns is a pretty durable guy in that weight class. I think the only stoppage loss he's had at 170 was against Kamaru Usman. Even Hamzat Chimaev couldn't finish Gilbert Burns in their fight, so I wouldn't really put that as much of a critique on Belal Muhammad's performance tonight, but yeah, he's undoubtedly earned this title shot and a very well done performance for Belal in this fight. And it's just, everything's kind of coming together for Belal Muhammad. And for Gilbert Burns, it's back to the drawing board. We'll see, because, he's an older guy, right? 36 years old, having an injury like this. We'll see how, I don't think it's like career ending or anything, but it's obviously going to keep him on the sidelines for a bit. But this is a big setback for Gilbert Burns, who really gained a lot of momentum his last couple fights, getting those 2 impressive victories over Neil Magny and Jorge Masvidal. He's now 2-2 in his last 4. Probably going to be difficult for him to get a title shot again. In fact, he may never get a title shot with this loss, right? With the injury and, again, him losing this key fight. That's probably it for Gilbert fighting for a title. He'll still be in that sort of area there, but it's going to be tough for him to get back up there. And of course, the other name that's in this entire mix that no one talks about is Shavkat Rakhmonov. Maybe they do him and Usman. I don't know, but the welterweight division got very interesting after tonight. And again, I think they're going to go, it was talked about on the broadcast. Belal will fight for a title next, whether it's Leon Edwards, Colby Covington, whatever. It doesn't matter. He's going to be fighting for a belt next, and it's well deserved. This was a really good performance from Belal Muhammad tonight. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. What did you think of Belal's performance? What did you think about the injury from Gilbert Burns? Not Burns' best performance, injury, understandable a little bit there, but again, you got to give full marks to Belal Muhammad, who again took this on short notice, cut a ton of weight, and still got it done at UFC 288. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at Lynch on Sports. I'll talk to you guys soon.